outgoing President Joe Biden is apparently giving President-elect Donald Trump a head start in expanding prisons for immigrants. According to The Guardian, for the last year, the Biden administration has been in the process of extending the contracts for private prisons. Yes, the private prisons that will be used to house undocumented immigrants rounded up by Donald Trump's deportation force. So, yeah, there you go. Guardian investigation has found that the administration has been exploring options for expanding detention capacity. This is, again, under Joe Biden, not Donald Trump. Shocker. Turns out Crime Bill Joe is giving a nice little handoff gift to Donald Trump. Not only is he giving Trump the keys to the castle, okay, the keys to the White House, like he's supposed to, but now he's saying, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm getting ready for you to throw millions of people into immigrant prisons. Congratulations. Great. Awesome. Now, The Guardian reviewed hundreds of pages of contracting documents, government statements, inspection reports, and private prison contractor calls with investors, and found that ICE has been working on extending at least 14 contracts with private prison companies to run a number of immigration detention centers across the country against significant opposition from Democrats and advocates. So now, this is really important, right? He'd been working on this for the last year. So wait, but what he was running for re-election, and then when he stepped down, Kamala Harris took over. So that means that even if he had won, or Kamala Harris had won, they were still planning on doing more imprisonments, okay, detentions of undocumented immigrants. So that's very important context here, right? But now that Donald Trump's coming, this is going to help him out even more, okay? Because he does plan on doing this massive deportation force, which he's going to need these prisons. He's going to need these prison camps, essentially, to house them all. So, lovely. Now, a lot of those facilities have fallen under intense scrutiny by federal government watchdogs over allegations of bad conditions, deplorable conditions, perhaps. Now, the White House has so far resisted protests from congressional Democrats and campaign groups about the scale and the standard of detention. In fact, according to Silky Shaw, executive director of Detention Watch Network, the Biden administration has increased the number of people in detention, doubled down on anti-immigrant Trump-era deterrence policies, and expanded detention capacity in direct conflict with its own promises to end for-profit incarceration and bring fairness to the immigration system. Are we surprised? You shouldn't be. The White House has gone right-wing on immigration. And even during Kamala Harris's campaign, which started out promising, they immediately went right-wing. They muzzled Tim Walz, okay, started, traveling around with Mark Cuban and Liz Cheney, and was going right-wing on immigration. Oh, no, see, it was Donald Trump. He made sure to, get Republicans to crash their own immigration bill, and I would totally bring that back. The incredibly draconian immigration bill? Yes, Trump had an 86th because he wanted to run on immigration. That said, this was a terrible immigration bill. Cruelties upon cruelties. Okay, that's what it's been about. That's apparently the people in power, Joe Biden included. Donald Trump's going to take that cruelty and amplify it. And Biden's basically giving him the tools to be able to do so. So great. No surprise to me. This is no surprise to me that he's helping Trump set up his immigration jails. All right. Shaw said, let's be clear, Trump's return to the White House and his unprecedented mass deportation and immigration detention agenda will be catastrophic for all Americans. Families face being split up and communities turned upside down. That's apart from huge cost and economic production implications. Biden now has a last chance to take decisive action to prevent catastrophe for millions of people and avoid handing the keys to an expanded and inhumane detention and deportation system to the next administration. There are no signs of such action so far in Biden's waning weeks, said The Guardian, and there will not be. Look, when Donald Trump won, private prison companies, their stocks went way up. All right? Simple as that. They know they're going to make a killing when Donald Trump comes into power. And Joe Biden is totally fine with that because Joe Biden's not a progressive. He is center-right on most issues, crime and immigration, okay, especially. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't good on labor. Yeah, he was pretty decent on labor compared to a lot of the last presidents, right? The most recent ones. But on almost every other issue, objectively, he's to the right. Simple as that. And now, instead of helping to strengthen the institutions against Donald Trump, he is doing this kind of stuff. He is helping Trump. Documents reviewed by The Guardian show that ICE is in talks to add bed space in New Jersey, the Midwest, and several West Coast cities that would add capacity to detain a total of at least 4,850 more people, amid plans to create new facilities or expand existing ones. It's in addition to the almost 39,000 people currently held in federal immigration custody. Oh, and there's way, way more planned than this. Damon Heininger, president and CEO of private contractor CoreCivic, said during a post-election call with investors, quote, Biden's push is already the greatest level of procurement activity we've seen with ICE in over a decade, demonstrating the continued need for additional detention solutions in various locations throughout the U.S. Brian Evans, CEO of Geo Group, during a call with his investors after Trump's victory, said this to us is an unprecedented opportunity to assist the federal government and the incoming Trump administration toward achieving a much more aggressive immigration policy with regard to interior enforcement and border enforcement, and the removal of criminal aliens predominantly from this country. So they can't wait, by the way, to put nonviolent immigrants into their prisons. Why do I say nonviolent? Because they don't want the violent ones. No. They don't make as much money off the violent ones because they actually require more resources, right? More resources means more money that they have to spend. And obviously, if you are a nonviolent immigrant, okay, who just happens to be here illegally, well, I mean, that's gonna make you more money. It's gonna make you a lot of money housing these people with these federal contracts. And so, yes, they want the nonviolent offenders. That's who's gonna be put into these prisons. Okay, that's how this works. Now, look, these same prisons, by the way, have already been caught mistreating prisoners. I know, not exactly shocking, but in September, a federal watchdog report on 17 unannounced inspections at ICE detention facilities spread across the country found evidence of horrific conditions. For example, inadequate food and water, negligent or abusive medical care, unsanitary conditions, failed plumbing, physical abuse by the guards, and much, much more. So yeah, and the number of those are going to increase now thanks to more and more people that are going to end up being put into these prisons. Senator Cory Booker said in a statement to The Guardian, quote, it is deeply concerning that ICE would expand private detention facilities now, just months before the inauguration of a president-elect who has promised to terrorize immigrant communities by detaining and deporting millions of people. I will continue to fight to ensure that detained immigrants are treated with dignity and that we value the well-being of immigrant communities in New Jersey above the share price of for-profit detention corporations. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if Democrats actually do try to fight this. I don't have a lot of faith in them, okay? And I'm just being honest about that. And maybe they'll surprise us, or maybe they won't. Esmeralda Santos, lead organizer with the Inland Coalition for Immigrant Justice, said it's really just a step backwards. We're seeing Biden replicate some of the policies Trump was interested in, and it's really discouraging to see that. I thought we could have more faith in Biden. He let us down, honestly. Look, man, here's the thing. You can go back and you can look back in 2020 where I was railing in the primary against Joe Biden. I said, he's never going to be the man to meet the moment. And this is why. Okay, Biden never let me down because I never had any high expectations of him. All right. And maybe you did. All right, I get it. But maybe you should, at this point, have learned by now to not have high expectations of Joe Biden. All right. For me, this is like, yeah, no shit. All right. Of course. Of course, he's going to help out Donald Trump. Of course, he's going to go right wing on immigration. Are we surprised? No. No. Unfortunately, now, thanks to that, we have Donald Trump coming back in. And now we are going to see just how badly things are going to get under Trump with help from Biden. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.